Punjabi.
Where?
Punjabi only.
Where are you going? New York, California. Where are you going?
California.
California? Where are you from?
California.
Where are you from?
India.
You're India? And you?
India.
Where are you going?
California.
California? You? Where are you from?
India.
You? Where are you from?
India.
Where are you going?
California.
You?
India. Going New York.
Where are you going? Where are you from? India?
New York.
You?
India, New York.
You?
India, New York.
You?
India, California.
You?
California.
Where? You?
India, California.
You?
Senegal.
Where are you going? New York. Where are you going?
New York.
New York? You? Where are you from? Where are you going? Jersey? You?
Bangladesh.
Where are you going?
New York.
You?
Bangladesh.
Where are you going?
Georgia.
You?
Bangladesh.
Where are you going?
Georgia.
You?
New York.
New York? Where are you from? Where are you from? Where are you from? Africa, Haiti, where are you from?
Senegal.
Synagogue. You?
Africa.
Where are you going?
New York.
Thank you. Where are you going, sir?
Africa.
You're from Africa? Where are you going?
New York.
Thank you. You?
Yeah.
From where?
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Yeah.
And Shalom, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Wa Yahweh Shai, Wa Rakakadash, Barakatah. And as the comment says, it says this is a small group, 700 to 800 came in this night in 4 hours. This is the only spot on the border, and it goes on all day and night. So if you think the border is closed, you're wrong. And this is why it's mentioned Jeremiah 51 and matter of fact, I'm going to start at verse 11. Make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord hath raised up the spirits of the kings of the Medes, for his device is against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple. Right? And one of the things that we're seeing is an influx of people coming into the United States who are, not necessarily naturalized citizens, all right, be it known or unknown. All right, you've got, just like we can sit here and watch these videos, they can sit here and watch these videos, all right, of all these people coming in. All right, verse 12, set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon, make the watch strong, set up the watchmen, prepare the ambushes, for the Lord hath both devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. And that's what's about to happen, man. The inhabitants of Babylon are about to go through it. All right, because people think that, they can lean on the staff of Egypt. They think that, the government is a proponent for them. You know what I'm saying? Which the scriptures tell us otherwise. All right, you go to Daniel 6 and 1, and it talks about even when Daniel was set up as president, that didn't mean he was fully in charge. It said it pleased Darius to set over the kingdom 120 princes, which should be over the whole kingdom. And over these 3 presidents, of whom Daniel was first, that the princes might give account unto them, and the king should have no damage. And that's what Esau Edom does. They have people in leadership who represent them and who speak off of a script, who follow after the marching orders of the elect, basically. All right, and that goes in every avenue of, wanting to receive benefits from this man's kingdom. All right, you want to be an entertainer, you want to be a star, you want to be a performer, you want to be on the main stage. You know what I'm saying? Well, look, you're gonna work for us. And part of their plans is to destabilize the United States. All right. Verse 14, it said, the Lord of hosts hath sworn by himself, which is ultimately the Heavenly Father's plan, saying, surely I will fill thee with men as with caterpillars, and they shall lift up a shout against thee. All right. And best believe that to fill this place up, you know, because the scriptures talk, I'm going to get that verse too. It talks about the land of unwalled villages, which talk about this place where there are no walls. That's why you had a walled city. You had gates. You know, people were staying at the gate and inquired the business of those who went in and out. You know, they might be checked depending on, you know what I'm saying, how they're coming or what kind of merchandise they're bringing in. All right, but with the United States, you know, they make sure that they're just letting anybody in. I got another clip too. And the name of this video is Cartels Operating in America's Force. So you have forces in America's force as well.
One of the jobs I had as being the lieutenant and the team leader of the marijuana enforcement team, our first tactical unit developed in 2013, as you know, just to fight this problem. I mean, we took game wardens out of the field with either special operations, military experience, or law enforcement experience, and we stopped doing traditional patrol. And the 12 of us basically were just targeting these grow sites, these cartel groups, trespass mostly on public lands. Heavy, they're not slowing down. And now we're looking at cannabis black markets being so bad on the illegal cartel side that almost 100 game wardens out of 450 in California are dedicated just to cannabis enforcement. I mean, who would have thought, would you have ever imagined, would I have ever imagined being a game warden, brother, that would be a major environmental crime focus that we would have to put our efforts into? But we have to, and here we are. It's that adaptability, right? Fill and flowing to the environmental destruction and what enemy we're fighting now. And quite honestly, I think we're fighting the most violent and the most inhumane and the most just profit-driven criminal that I ever came across in my career, and certainly that have kind of the same mindset of the enemy you fought overseas, valiantly in the GWOT, in the global war on terror. I mean, I see some of this viciousness in these guys in grows that we've had to fight, and to think that it's in our backyard in the Silicon Valley foothills, just to name one spot across the country, is mind-blowing.
It truly.
It is mind-blowing. All right, open borders, that was a huge problem for the Roman Empire. At the end, basically, it started to crumble. Those roadways and the things that allowed it to expand, where it did, started to crumble. We're seeing that with the infrastructure. All right, that worm that's beneath. All right, and then of course the moral compass, so to speak, has begun to decay extremely. All right, and then you just have all kind of opposing forces within your borders. What is it called? Guerrilla warfare, right? Like in that first clip, you had all those different people, and that was just one spot. The border is hundreds of miles long. I want to say thousands of miles long. I think it's like 1,500 or 2,000 miles long or something like that, right? The Rio Grande, basically. Which that's why they call the Northern Kingdom, they call them wetbacks, because they had to cross a river, to get over across the border, right? Certain spots you can cross without doing that, but usually you gotta go over the Rio Grande, right? But basically, this is how it's about to feel with men as with caterpillars. These different people who are coming here, all right? Who, for some reason, the enforcement of the border has gotten completely weak. Right, Esau ain't at the gates anymore, and these are places where, down there, and even up north, they had the French-Canadian War. All right, they actually fought once over these borders. They actually shed blood over establishing these borders, and now people can just walk through. Right, and this is going to be to the downfall of this place. And this is the heritage of Babylon, man. This is Nahum 3:1. Woe to the bloody city, it is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not. And when you look at this place, that's exactly what it is, man. Lies and robbery. All right, where they could come and they can knock down your house. They could come, they could throw a boot on your car and lock you up, fine you. All these different fines and taxes and all this different bullshit, man, which is part of lies and robbery. Right? They have made a business of robbing people and taxing people in order for them to come up with a quota. Right? You know, like you'll be driving, it's the end of the month or the beginning of the month, or it might be a random spot in the middle of the month, and you just notice in a certain zone, and I keep seeing people pulled over. You know, that's because they can actually, which is not legal, but they actually pull people over, and then they go up to a quota on, you know what I'm saying, how many people they're pulling over, how much money they fine them for, violations and all that. And then, you know, they'll bring all these people into court. All right, and that's how they get paid. And you know, where I'm at, the city of Chicago, they make a killing off of that, parking and streets and, you know, city stickers and all this bullshit. And that's just one avenue of it. All right, we could go into, you know, gas prices, everything, man. Everything here is manipulated in order to keep you broke, in order to keep that war of attrition on you and your finances. All right, it's lies and robbery, and the prey depart not. Our people are still here. All right, like the scriptures say, no man shall buy you. Because ultimately, the scriptures say you are bought by a price, which is talking about the elect, because our Redeemer is going to redeem us. All right, only the elect is going to be bought with that price, though. It says the noise of a whip and the noise of the rattling of the wheels and of the prancing horses, talking about these military vehicles, and of the jumping chariots. The horsemen lifted up both the bright sword and the glittering spear, and there is a multitude of slain and a great number of carcasses, and there is none end of their corpses. They stumble upon their corpses. And that's what's coming. All right. One people against another's, you know, sword against sword. And you have a lot of people who have moved here in great numbers, and you know what I'm saying, the U.S., of course, they support all these different people coming here. They'll give them certain rights and certain stuff, and then they'll, you know, if they get into trouble, then, you know, they basically can send them back, all right, because they agree with certain visa plans, like you have to cooperate with federal authorities, basically. All right, that's part of the package deal, so that they can come over here and they can use that person for whatever, you know, diversity or whatever bullshit plan that Esau has. All right, and that's how it goes, man. This place is going to be filled up with soldiers. This place is going to be locked down. All right, even with, I forget what house it was, but basically, I forget, was it the electoral house? Was it the Senate? Basically, they're saying that they don't even have to wear business attire anymore. They could just wear casual attire. Like, you know, the level of slackness that these Edomites have gotten to, you know, versus when they first started this thing, and they were ready to basically die for their beliefs and die for, you know, establishing this country and do all of this wickedness and all these heinous acts, you know. Hey, these Edomites are through. It says, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts. Right? And you Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom, Jake, so-called black, so-called Latino, so-called Native Americans, you guys have been the number one to be sold by these people. All right, it says, behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. And what does the scripture say? They shall burn the whore. You know, basically these other nations are going to turn back. Like, man, this money's been good, everything been good. You know, because ultimately at the end, it tells you when they see the smoke of her burning, other countries are going to say, alas, you know, there's no country like this. You know, they're gonna be mad because they can't make money anymore. But ultimately, they shall hate the whore. All right, all these different people they get to move here. It's completely unwalled. You know, Jacob been fighting for years to get certain shit. They could just get it instantly. All right, and that's through Esau, Edom. That's basically what they want, man. They want to take away everything, man. Oppress a man and his heritage. They don't care about you so-called blacks, Native American, Latinos. They don't give a fuck. They give these people more rights than you, who already don't give a fuck about America. All right, all of these military-aged men who coming from these other places don't even speak English and can squeeze in. All right, it's all through the will of the Lord. He said, I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock. And it shall come to pass that all they that look upon thee shall flee from thee, and say, Nineveh is laid waste, who will move on her? Whence shall I seek comforters for thee? Art thou better than Populus? No, this was situated among the rivers that had waters round about it, whose rampart was the sea, and her wall was from the sea. Ethiopia and Egypt were her strength, and it was infinite. Put and Labim were thy helpers. Yet was she carried away. She went into captivity. Her young children also were dashed in the pieces at the top of all the streets, and they cast lots for her honorable men, and all her great men were bound in chains. Thou also shalt be drunken, thou shalt be hid, thou also shalt seek strength because of the enemy. All right, all thy strongholds shall be like fig trees with the first ripe figs. If they be shaken, they shall even fall into the mouth of the eater. Oof. So the Lord is about to shake this place up. Behold, thy people in the midst of thee are women. The gates of thy land shall be set wide open unto thine enemies. The fire shall devour thy bars. And that's what happened with Rome. Eventually, all these other tribes and stuff, it got to be too much. You know, ultimately it was the will of the Lord that brought it down, but that was, you know, the way that he did it with these other nations, with you know, all these different events, you know, namely the prophets coming in and prophesying against Rome and against the Roman Empire. And when it was time for them to fall, they fell. Now it's time for them to rise again, which that's a trend right now. On TikTok, these basically they're asking random Edomites, like, how much do you think of the Roman Empire? And a lot of them say it. I think of it a couple times a day, you know, at least a couple times a week, because you are those people coming back. All right, and the Lord got a special play for you. It said, draw thee waters for the siege, fortify thy strongholds, go into clay and tread the mortar, make strong the brickland. There shall the fire devour thee, the sword shall cut thee off, it shall eat thee up like cankerworm, make thyself many as the cankerworm, make thyself many as the locust. All right, and basically, man, the sword shall cut thee off. It even talks about the men, you know, the men of the mountains are going to be slain. All these preppers and people with MREs, and I'm getting myself ready and prepared. If you ain't got a spot on the other side of the world, a bunker, you know, you ain't really prepared like that. You ain't really ready. If you don't got a means to instantly leave here, like the scriptures even say, everybody's gonna flee back to their own lands, then, you know, you ain't got it. And you already have other nations fleeing back right now, because they see that, you know, this place is done. The money ain't moving like it used to. All right, so Lord willing, it's edifying, you know. That's why we're set up to be watchmen. All right, to see everything that's around us and to filter everything through the scriptures. All right, we're not supposed to keep this word under a napkin. You know, you had also a report where they're saying, you know, thousands of more people from South America and Central America are on their way up here as well, you know. And I know up here in Chicago, they're getting people ready. They're talking about like a militarized zones with, you know, winterized tents and stuff for all these different people who moved up here as well. So we're gonna see what they do with that, because they might start doing one zone and then we're gonna do another zone and this zone, and then we're gonna keep it. Then we're gonna send people here, because we, you know, who knows? We'll see. So that's what we're here to do. Set up to be watchmen. Call Allah, Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, blessings, salutations to you sincere Akim out there pushing the truth across the four corners of the earth. Lord willing, is edifying. Shalom.